All right, take 6. Let's see if this time anything is going to go wrong. Hey guys, how the hell are ya? Time for an all-new iFAQ video. This is iFAQ number 10. That's right, we've done 10 of these. Thank you guys so much for sticking out with me. And also thank you guys for your patience, because as a lot of you guys probably noticed, last week I did not do an iFAQ video. And the reason why is because I just spaced and forgot about it. So, my best bro Dan and I, after knowing each other for 20 fucking years, are finally writing some music together and, like, trying to get something done and off the ground, recorded and released. And honestly, like, through our Skype sessions back and forth, writing this, recording that, we've got some great shit that has come out of that, and as a result, I have just been so engrossed in it. Every last spare brain cell that I have has just been so focused on that honestly, doing the normal shit like these iFAQ videos has, you know, it just kind of went out of my brain. So, yeah, with that, hope to have some music to release for you guys soon, and back to our regularly scheduled program. First question. Hey Arnold, love the channel, mate. I was wondering whether you designate specific guitars to specific tasks. For example, writing, recording, music styles, etc. If so, which and why? Firstly, everything that I own has to sound good through my recording setup. So, as far as like for recording goes, everything technically is designated for recording. I'm not really a live musician anymore. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff here that, you know, fits certain tasks and certain styles better. For instance, my Chuck Schuldiner Stealth, I write a ton of death metal stuff on that, and then I just kind of transpose it to whatever other instrument I'm using. My Framus Pantera is my classic and power metal go-to instrument. My Framus Television is kind of a be-all, end-all. It does everything equally well. I mainly bought it as kind of my learning and practicing instrument, something where I can get back to basics, relearn a lot of fundamentals, learn new techniques, but then lo and behold, it kind of rocks at fucking everything. So I use it for recording, for writing, for just dicking around on, etc. My Washburn V, that instrument fights me back a lot, so I save that for like more like forced and aggressive takes that I need to record. My Warlock is my old school death metal instrument. Really anything here is fair game when I'm recording though. Like, you know, I'll record something, and if I'm just not getting the take that I want to get, you know, I'll switch it to a different instrument and see if something clicks. But yeah, there's a handful of stuff that, you know, I've got sort of certain vibes that I catch off of certain instruments. So yeah, to answer your question I'd love to see covered in an iFAQ. How do you combat the fatigue of programming drums? I lose inspiration halfway through a song due to the repetitive nature of clicking in beats to painstakingly create really busy drum parts. Do you have any techniques or tips for streamlining this process? So the first thing I recommend to do is record the guitars and the bass to a click first. Don't program the drums first. So I'm a big fan of the payoff and getting to experience the finished product. And one of the things that helps me out as I'm programming drums is being able to like put in a loop or a riff or whatever and then play it back and hear instantaneously how it sounds kind of in a full mix. And usually that gets me going and motivates me to push forward and continue with the next song part and the next song part after that, etc. One of the other things too is I used to be all about programming everything beat by beat by beat, but to be honest, man, I switched almost completely to just using MIDI loops, and dude, it streamlines the process so goddamn much. 9 out of 10 times, you know, I'm just using the loop as is because it sounds fucking awesome. Every so often, I'm reprogramming like a hit here or there, and every so less often than that, I'm actually programming from scratch a part here or there. So definitely get privy to the MIDI loops and the MIDI packs that TuneTrack and Ugertone and all these other companies offer, because it does make it so much easier. What's up, Arnold? Do you think paying to advertise your new music on Facebook and Instagram is worth it? My band recently released our debut single and it's not really getting out there. Thank you and stay metal. Honestly, to me, the jury's out because I paid for advertisement on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and a few other platforms here or there, and I've had kind of mixed results. Some videos it's done really, really well on, some videos not so well at all. And honestly, who even knows if those impressions that I'm getting from those link click-throughs are even amounting to anything. It might be something where someone's just clicking on it, oh, this sucks, and then they move on, you know? Or for all I know, it might even be fans that clicked on something and, oh, wow, this is my new favorite YouTuber now. I have no idea. What I will say is that I've never advertised my music before, and I wouldn't know if that would actually do as well as one would hope. My advice for any musician is focus on, you know, just creating really, really killer stuff that you and your bandmates are 100% fully invested in, and that you all love the direction it's heading, you all love the mix that you get, the final product that you get, play shows, you know, and have a good energy on stage when you're playing. And a lot of times people pick up on that energy when you play live, if you get to play live with all that's going on, and in the music that you release. And a lot of times that, I think, comes through in the recording, in the performance, and that's what, to me, inspires word of mouth. Being able to hear something and instantly latch onto the energy and the vibe that's coming off of it. And that's certainly what makes me want to spread the word about stuff. Speaking of spreading the word about stuff, hey guys, right here, this is Dying Fate. This is Chris's band. They just released their new single. I don't do this for anybody really at all, but I just thought this would be something cool to do for Chris since he's trying to get his music out there. So guys, click on the Spotify link. I'll include it in the description. Check his band out. Check out that new single. This is probably going to be the only time I ever do this for somebody, unless it's something where I just, oh wow, that's fucking awesome, and I have to do it in my own head. But, you know, hey, guys, check out Chris's band, Dying Fate, right here. Hey Arnold, what's up with the Brazilian flag? Minha esposa é de São Paulo, Brazil. The love of my life, amor de minha vida. So, she is Brazilian. She's from São Paulo. She's actually from São Bernardo do Campo, which is on the outskirts of São Paulo. As a result of being married to a Brazilian, I've come to really, really love Brazil. It's a heritage thing. Because she's Brazilian, we have a flag here. But yeah, I love Brazil. I love going down there and visiting. I love my in-laws. They're incredible. I love, you know, kind of hopping and bopping all around the country, you know, to like the resort towns when we do the touristy thing, to Santos, and then when we just want to hang out, you know, going to parties and hanging out with people that are friends of the family, even going down to downtown Sao Paulo, you know, going to Teodoro Sampaio and checking out all the awesome music stores, going to Galeria de Hockey, which is an awesome mall that they have there, which is just tons of record shops, tattoo shops, t-shirt shops, etc. I love going down to Brazil. I love immersing myself in all of that. I love the vibe I get when I'm down there. It just feels like home to me, even though I'm not from there. I love Brazil. Hey Arnold, what is your most crazy memory from when you used to be in a band and go on tour? And any crazy rock and roll stories? So I definitely do have some crazy stories and some crazy memories. Some of it, you know, I'd rather not share in the interest of good taste. Some of it, you know, not the best memories, so I kind of repressed them a little bit. You know, I've had so many years between when I used to go on tour and now, and I don't look back on that time in my life with 100% fondness anymore. There's definitely some bright shining moments, but there's also some kind of questionable moments where I was like, man, what the hell was I doing? But yeah, some cool stuff happened. You know, here's kind of an innocent and fun little story. This is something, well, first of all, let me preface this with a disclaimer. I am not condoning this behavior, nor am I endorsing this behavior. I am just reporting to you what happened for the purposes of entertainment. So, for legal reasons, please do not do what I am about to tell you happened. So, we were on the road with another band, and we were traveling around New England, and I forget where the hotel was, but I remember we had just played at the Badfish in Solomon's Island. It was a great show. We had a lot of fun, great venue, and we went down the road, and we were gonna get some nights at a hotel because we had 3 nights off, and it was Super Bowl weekend, so we were just gonna say, hey, let's get a hotel room and let's just chillax, let's enjoy the big game, let's just, relax for a little bit. And we get to the hotel, and the other band had gotten there before us, and we see them moving their stuff from one room to the other, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And they said, okay, so here's what we're doing. So we said that the air conditioner in this room was broken, so that they would cross out this room and not rent it out to anybody else. So they have moved us to the neighboring room, and this is your room now. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool. Like, here's what you're gonna do, just chillax in here, just play it cool, play it smart, and try to get as much of a free stay out of this as possible. So we did just that. First night went by without a hitch. The next day, pretty much everything went by okay without a hitch as well. The next day, early in the morning, there was the maintenance guy came by to check on the AC unit, and he was like, why are there all these people in here? And we're like, oh shit, we're so busted. So we kind of played it off like, oh no, we've had this room. They must be talking about a different room. See, our AC unit's working, Anyways, so about an hour and a half later, the hotel's manager and the maintenance guy come back, and they're asking us some questions, hey, what's going on? Why are you in this room? This room's crossed off in the ledger. What's going on? And we just tried to play it off, hey, this is our room. We've had this room the past few nights, and, we were actually about ready to leave, but we thought we would actually extend our stay for another night. Is that cool? Trying to spin it, trying to move it along a little bit, and somehow they went for it. Somehow it worked. So we ended up paying for that one final night, Super Bowl Sunday, and that was all we paid for. So we ended up getting 3 nights for the price of one. It ended up working somehow. And so yeah, that was really kind of a cool, fun, slightly innocent story about how we scammed a hotel. I had to quit drinking craft beer and alcohol in general. It made me way too thick. My question is if you've ever had to cut anything out of your life for the better. Love the vids and this new series especially. So, I've been fortunate enough that I've never really gotten addicted to anything. I don't smoke. I barely drink at all. I know you guys probably think I'm an alcoholic because of like the beer posts and how I always end each video with a beer review, but really, I hardly ever drink. Maybe 1 or 2 beers a week, if that. I'm more of a social drinker than anything. Put me in a party and I'll have 2 or 3, but honestly, just kind of whenever I'm feeling it, which is not very often. Back to your question, I have cut out a lot of people out of my life. So, growing up in kind of a shit Midwestern industrial town with a bunch of shit people around me, with a bunch of shit relationships, whether it be romantic, personal, business, whatever, band related, working shit jobs, and just generally being dissatisfied with, life in the Midwest for the most part. There was a lot of times where I just cut ties, where I just said, hey, you know what, it's better to burn this bridge than repair it. So forget it, I'm moving on, and, you can go off, do whatever, but this is the last time we're talking. So, yeah, there's a lot of friends that I don't have any longer, and I honestly think that I'm better off with that, and hopefully they are too, because looking back on it, I know that, you know, I can be a huge asshole, and that's the reason why a lot of band relationships I was in never really worked out too well. That's the reason why I don't talk with a lot of my former bandmates, if not pretty much all of them. And, you know, it is what it is, you know. I just think I'm better off having a very, very select few super close friends. And, you know, I cut out a lot of people out of my life, you know, maybe for the benefit of them, but definitely for the benefit of me, no matter what. There was a lot of toxicity in Rockford, Illinois, and there still is, to be honest with you. So, really happy I'm gone. I need your opinion on something. There's a guitar I really want, but it has a Floyd, which I don't like. Do I get that guitar and then block the trem, or would it be better to buy a similar guitar without a Floyd? So I'm biased in that I love Floyd Roses, and I don't like the idea of blocking them off. I love Floyds because I love just kind of jamming on them, I love dicking around with them, and I love setting them up because they're, again, same situation as with like the drum programming. I love the payoff. I love getting to play on an instrument that is staying perfectly in tune because I set it up perfectly and it's perfectly intonated, everything is ringing out perfectly in tune, there's no buzz or nothing, and it's staying in fucking tune. I love that shit, and I love the payoff of having an instrument that does that. So, to me, I would say, you know, maybe still try an instrument with a Floyd and maybe try to learn it. Maybe try to learn a few new techniques, maybe, you know, try to learn how to set one up, although a lot of people will tell you it's a pain. To me, it's worth it. I can tell you from personal experience, you know, aforementioned my buddy Dan, one of his main guitars right now is a Charvel that has a Floyd on it, and he fucking loves that guitar. And he's been jamming around on it, and he has never really been a Floyd guy. I don't want to talk out of turn and say that he's converted, but what I would say is maybe give it a shot. You might like it. But if you absolutely know 100% you will not like it whatsoever, then don't get a guitar with a Floyd and block it off, because to me that's not utilizing the instrument or the bridge system to its fullest potential. Especially when those things are usually like several $100 add-ons to the production cost of an instrument, roughly. So it's not something that I would necessarily buy an instrument that has one if you're not going to use it. I would say just get something else, similar specs, but with a fixed bridge, and be happy. Are you reading this? Smash that like button. You heard the man, hit that fucking like button. What is your favorite body wood for extended range guitars? Would love to hear your thoughts on why, too. Cheers, man. So, I'm gonna go a little bit against the grain, haha, wood joke, and say that I am all about mahogany in extended range instruments. The reason why is because I've ordered a lot of custom shop guitars that have had alder, swamp ash, a few other exotic woods from time to time, and I've not really been happy with the tone I've been getting. To me, it's always been a little bit too tight sounding, and I actually don't want a tight sound from an extended range guitar. I've always had better luck from instruments in like 8-string territory that have had mahogany bodies, because to me they sound richer, they sound fuller, they sound warmer. I can fine-tune the attack a little bit with the treble and presence on the amp, and maybe throw in like a dirt box in front of the amp just to kind of tighten things up if I really want to. But honestly, you know, getting that brutal, ballsy tone is so much easier when I've had a mahogany-bodied instrument, even as an extended range player. So, yeah, I'm going to go with mahogany. To me, it just reacts a little bit better, and I get a better overall tone out of the instrument. And now, it's time for this week's
Troll of the Week.
And this week's Troll of the Week is a very special kind of prick. So, we've got a little bit to go over with this dude. Firstly, he was commenting on my review of the head signature model from LTD. Die commented, Dude, my Ibanez RG7620 sounds much more brutal and massive. What are you doing, LOL? This one sounds gay. But wait, there's more. He goes on. And I forgot to mention, the reason this guitar didn't do so well and they had to downgrade to a cheap model for 2020 is thanks to the gay-ass purple. Okay, so let's leave the elephant in the room to the end here. First of all, wow, it's so great that you are informed and you know the inner business machinations going on behind the scenes at LTD and the reason why they make certain decisions. You know, it's so nice to be so in the know. Also, it's great that you have a made in Japan RG7620. Those are exceptional instruments and kind of hard to come by these days. So now, like, okay, using gay as an insult in 2020. Wow, so pathetic that you can't think of anything any more original than that. You know, I mean, especially in this day and age. And, you know, you don't like the tone? That's fine. A lot of people don't like the tone. Most people don't go so far as to call it gay. By the way, the color thing, all right? Variety is the spice of life, man. You know, around this studio, I've got guitars in turquoise, pink, hot fucking pink. I've got purple instruments that are all multicolored, blue swirl. I've got transparent pinkish purple. You know, it's a color. It's a color. What's your problem? If you don't like it, move on to something else. But speaking of not being able to move on to something else, let's go over your homophobia. So wow, your pathetic hatred is so deeply rooted that you're using gay as an insult. But then you decide to make your screen name on YouTube, on social media, die. Like, I'm almost speechless. Almost. Let's talk about this, okay? Here's the thing about homophobia, all right? Being, like, affected by the homosexual community, by the gay community, by lesbians, by bisexuals, by transgendered, that is completely and totally on you. They are doing nothing to you whatsoever. The fact that there's a problem is on the person who has the problem. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? A gay guy might hit on you? Okay. You say, hey man, sorry, not my thing. No problem. You know, it's happened to me before, and as soon as I've said, hey man, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, barking up the wrong tree, they move on. It's not something like a big, you know, aggressive, you know, well, fuck you, you just don't know what a real man can do thing, like straight men tend to do. So you just need to move on, my friend. There's so much more important shit out there that actually does affect you, that actually does have some sort of bearing on your existence and your life. Leave these people alone. They are just trying to have an enjoyable life experience. More power to them. Don't infringe upon what they are trying to do because it has nothing to do with you. Oh, and by the way, fuck you. So with that, thank you guys so much for tuning in to iFAQ number 10. It's been such a pleasure to do 10 of these for you. This is probably admittedly going to be the last one that runs 10 questions long, because I kind of feel like these videos are getting a little bit long-winded because I love to talk. So yeah, going forward, let's try cutting these videos down to maybe like 5 questions and see if maybe those are a little bit easier to digest going forward. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to experience these with me. You guys absolutely kick ass, and hopefully I get to do much more metal guitar oriented content for you. Click that like button, click that subscribe button, and remember, take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. Thanks, guys.